And here we have the dwarf magic turn. He casted the movement spell on my coach. I think this was a mistake. He could have casted it still on my rate and taken them away. If he can cast it into combat, I'm not quite sure about that, but still, I got hit, and I think it take 1-2 wound something and half movement, as again the red dice just shows that he have the spells on him. Here more close up on his anvil, which he's still working to get done before the tournament, and the nicely painted coach, high elf coach. So yeah. And then it's the dwarf shooting phase, and as you can see here, his organ gun is aiming for my grave guards. Nothing I can do about that, so that will hurt. And as you can see on this picture, it did really hurt. He rolled a 10, so this will be ouch. And it really was. You can see here, he took a really good chunk of my my graveguard unit, so wasn't too happy about that. And it was his combat phase, and I managed to kill one, so he loses his rank. He didn't have a banner, and he got a charge, so we were even. And that was the end of the dwarf turn 3. So now it's vampire count turn 3, and as you can see from the watchtower, I moving up and declared a charge with my coach. As you can see on this picture, it got in, and I didn't get any dices in my coach the last turn, so I'm really unhappy about that. 2 turns, nothing in the coach. Next picture, you can see I'm moving up with my forces even more, so that will be a good support later on. And here you have my magic phase, and I really needed just to get summoned undead horde. I was losing on many fronts now, so I just throw all my dice, and I get a double 6. So that was just brilliant for me. Exactly what I needed to save myself. So you can see on this picture, I got 11 graveguards back, and I got a couple, one more Ken Wraith back, and healed the other one. So yeah, that's perfect. So here you can see my graveguard back in full strength. That's lovely. So here you can see my coach did a really good number on his slayers. I only took 2 wounds back, and yeah, once again I didn't get anything into the coach. So I did 2 wounds back, and I was pretty happy about that. So now it's dwarf turn 4, and he didn't move anything, he didn't charge, so all that was left to happen was his magic, and he threw it out the grave guards. They got minus movement, didn't get any casualties from that. So here you can see his grudge tower, which is shooting at my general unit. As you can see, he's showing where he wanted to go. He did a really good hit, so now my general is exposed, so hopefully he won't be targeting any more on him. And here he's declaring his cannon to shoot at my graveguard once again, and here he's aiming up, I think he's saying 10 away, and he's rolling an 8 on the first roll, which is perfect, and then a misfire, so hey, lucky for me. And a little more fighting with my Cane Wraith, and I killed 3-4 of him. So I'm slowly winning the battle here, but they're doing a good job keeping my deadly unit away from the battle. And I killed 3 more slayers, and he did no wounds back. That's perfect. And it's the end of his turn. Now it's vampire count turn again, and I was charging in with my 1 ghoul unit, and that was all my charges. Next up, I'm moving my grave guards a little up. They had them slowing, so I couldn't go far. So I moved my general into the bigger ghoul unit, and that was the end of my movement. And now it's my combat phase. The magic phase wasn't any exciting. I didn't get through anything through his magic defense, so here you can see I managed to kill one more miner with my raids, and he fled. So yes, but he didn't flee off the board. So yay, I need to charge him again next turn. So you can see a little more overlay of the board, and here you see my combat. And I didn't do too many wounds on his warriors with my ghouls, but he didn't do too many to me either. So I'm stuck in combat, and I killed a couple slayers, so only 2 left. And yeah, this magic phase I did get a 6, so now my coach is a little tiny better. So here you can see the end of my turn 4, and then we go over to dwarf turn 5. So with these pictures you can just see some more parts of the battle and how it's looking right now. It was not the most eventful game, but his list are doing what he's supposed to, and that's just keeping me at bay. So I think he's doing a pretty good job holding back an army like this. As you can see here, he's managed to put another spell on my graveguard, so half movement again. And next picture you can now see he put everything he had on me. Everything shooting, everything. So yeah. And with my graveguard almost dead again, we go to his combat phase. So you can see here I'm fighting with my black coach with his slayers, and he's 1 left, and they won't flee, so I'm stuck 1 more round. And here you have a more close-up picture on his grudge tower thrower, stone thrower. It did misfire, so last turn, so he can't shoot this turn either. So yeah, that's cool. And it's the end of dwarf turn 5. So now we're going to vampire count turn 5, and I'm charging his miners, as you can see, and I want to charge his warriors and hopefully get to summon back some grave guards in my magic phase. So as you can see, I didn't need a lot to reach them, but it wasn't enough. So I'm just moving 5 forward up to them. And yeah, at the end of movement phase it looked like this. Actually, I can see this was the end of my magic phase. So I did get off Summon Undead Horde once again, and I put mostly what I got on the Graveguard, so they're back up to a good strength again, and a little on my old bodyguard unit to just make sure we won't snatch the points from them. It was only 2 left or something. So that was my magic phase. So my combat phase, I killed the last miners and the last slayers. So I'm ready for flank charge here. And at my turn, as you can see, I think I rolled 4 poison. And normally I don't get through their toughness, I need to roll 5, so yeah. And he rolled 6 parry saves, so didn't get any kills there. Too bad for me. And here you can see the end of that combat, and we're still fighting. And the end of my turn 5. And it's turning out to be a slow game, but yeah, he's doing his job, I think. So dwarf turn 6, and he didn't do any charges and whatnot, but for the first time in the game, he rolled a 1. So no magic ruining on me, but I think it's too late, so it's have no point that happened in the latest part of the game. So we can see shooting here, and the organ gun didn't do too much, killed 1 or 2, something like that, but hey, the grudge tower. Did I misfire again? Priceless. Nothing exciting in the combat, we just hack and slash at each other, and it was his last turn. So, it's my last turn, and I got my coach in his flank, so that will really hurt him. And hey, I got my Graveguard into combat. This is nice. For the first time in the game, it only took me 6 turns, huh? So here you have the end of my movement. And in my magic phase, I rolled double 6 again. It was only on summoning up some ghouls, so it wasn't so exciting. Next up, you can see the picture of the High Elf Black Coach, which are on the flank of his warrior units. And a little more closer picture there. And here you can see my battle with them, and I killed a lot with my coach, and I did even more wounds with my ghouls later on. So that was a good fight. I think it was only 2 left standing or something when I was done. And my Graveguard at last come into combat. It only took me 6 turns, and they did really well too. They killed almost over half his units actually, and he only killed a couple of back, so he lost and ran off the board with his longbeards and his BSB. So I got into the organ gun after that, and that was the end of the game. So hair is shaking, good game, and it was a lot of fun. Next time I will have with Necromancer to make sure I get the Macabre spell, and I think his list was pretty solid. If you have any comment on what maybe you think, just leave it below. And yeah, it was a victory for the Vampire count.